as he comes out. Yeah. And interesting conversations that we had with him yesterday at the weigh-in about what it's like to be a boxer and he had an extensive amateur career. I think he had over 40, 50 fights, and he said he had to kind of go back to MMA. And one of the things that he mentioned that was going to be kind of tricky for him was to remember that he has to keep his hands up, because in MMA he broke the habit of keeping his hands up to keep his hands down. So Jose Cortes will be making his way to the ring right now.
Well, he promised me if things got heated that he was going to body slam the guy anyway and go back to his ways.
He said what?
That if things got rough, he's going to go back to his MMA days and body slam the guy.
Actually, the funny thing was that when I asked him, is he doing this as a trial, he said that he plans on having to fight both. He wants to fight in MMA and boxing. So
that's interesting, Billy. That's an interesting concept.
I didn't realize that they actually could.
I didn't either, but here he comes.
I tell you, the guy
almost
got burnt by that stuff. That's not a good spot for that. That should actually be near the door. But
yeah.
All right, well, the thing is they're supposed to be entering from the other set of stairs, but that's okay, as long as they get in the ring.
Yeah.
Speaking of ring, we're going to be going up to our ring announcer, Bob Alexander, here in a second.
This is a Colombian necktie.
That's right. You heard a lot about him.
My man, yeah. We had a nice little chat yesterday, and he promised victory. And I told him if he do what his nickname says, we're going to call his second fight.
First degree murder. We're going to hand it over to my man Bob Alexander, who's doing all the ring talk right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Kravis Center in beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida, our first bout of the evening is brought to you by Island Boxing. Scheduled for 4 rounds of professional boxing in the welterweight division. Your judges scoring at ringside are Mark Streisand, Rocky Young, and Toby Tamarkin. Your referee in charge of the action, Frank Santori Jr. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks. He weighed in at 145.5 pounds. Tonight, making his professional debut from Miami, Florida, here is Derrick D-Day Johnson. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with black trim. He weighed in at 149.5 pounds. Also making his professional debut this evening, El Hijo de Cali, Colombia, y West Palm Beach, Florida. Here is Jose, the Colombian Necktie Cortes.
Where they should be. Let's keep your blows above these lines, all right? Heard all the instructions in the dressing room. Listen to my commands at all times. Questions, good luck, fellas.
Okay, Frank Santori just gave the final instructions to both fighters. And like I said earlier, Derrick Johnson is wearing the all-black trunks, and the white trunks with the black trim is being donned by Jose Cortes as the first round starts right now, Carl.
And here we go. Southpaw. That's interesting. For your first pro fight, that's an interesting choice.
I think I thought he was down as a right-hander. Maybe he's just showing a little southpaw look. But like you say, when you're watching a pro debut, sometimes you don't know what to expect. This is the type of fight where people watch and then they'll be able to tell you about this guy next. Well, it looks like Derrick Johnson is trying to establish the jab, which is a smart move.
Okay.
And he's got some decent head movement. I'd like to see his hands up a little more. But Jose Cortes, for a guy that's, said he was going to have trouble keeping his hands up, he seems to be doing a fine job.
And this is the part that I love. You get a guy, they get overly excited, they lunge, they go forward, and that's when they got to be careful because they can run into something.
But it's sort of like watching college football versus NFL. You see a lot of more emotion. They're not as polished as they will be in 10, 15 fights. But so far, a very action-packed fight for 2 young fighters.
See, I kind of like this kind of fight because It really depends, quite honestly, with their amateur pedigree. And if you get a guy that's had 300 amateur fights against a guy that's had 5 amateur fights, well, there's a huge experience difference.
I was saying earlier that I thought that Derrick should keep his hands up a little more, and I think that's hurting him right now. His chin is right there, and I think that Jose Cortes is finally finding the distance, and Derrick has to keep his hands up. Otherwise,
look where they are.
Yeah, they're down way too low.
Way too low. I seen a guy the other night with his hands too low against Deontay Wilder, and and I'm praying for him as we speak.
Now Jose Cortes looks like he's headhunting because, he stunned Derrick Johnson there earlier, and now it looks like he's going, headhunting. It looks like the referee just warned him for hitting behind, hit him with the backhand of the glove. I don't know what to think. Derrick Johnson he's moving his head, but I don't like his hands, Carl.
No, I particularly don't. I don't either. I think they're way too low, and he can get countered easily, and that's what's been happening. And sometimes you get overly excited, or you have more faith and confidence in your reflexes.
Well, the first minute of the round, when he was using his jab, he was controlling the action of the fight. And it seemed like, see now, he's got to, he can't. They're going to have to teach him that you can't be touching the mat with your gloves.
And there wasn't no, there's nothing to slip on over there.
No, but if a punch was landed at that time, they could have called it a knockdown.
Absolutely. Listen.
There was a tough round to score because the first half of that round, I thought it was all Derrick Johnson, but the second half was all Jose Cortes.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to warm up. Look. In a 4-round fight,
pro debuts,
is very interesting because that first round is vitally important. Yeah. Whether you're either playing catch up or you can kind of stay ahead, and all you need to do is win 2 for a draw, 3 for a victory.
Right.
And now, if you lose the first round, you got to win all 3 of the rest of them in order to get a decision. So these are crucial rounds that we're about to see.
Well, I think that was a tough round to score
because,
like I said, that first half of the round, I thought was all Derrick Johnson, and you wonder if his trainer right now, Ray Echeverria, is telling him, get back to what you were doing, using a jab, and then on the other side, with Lou Martinez, who's in Jose Cortez's corner, he's probably saying, doing exactly what you did in the second half of the fight.
Right, and you know what? If you look at him, Derrick, DJ, as he call him, DJ Judge, Derrick Johnson, his hands are in much better position to punch. However,
but they're not in a good position for that.
Right,
and he's that right hand is finding a home every time.
And the one thing that our friend Derrick is not doing is moving his head. His upper body movement, he's not moving that head enough. He's not rolling under anything.
No, he's not moving it side to side. He's moving it forward and back.
And that's a bad place to be.
It's bad when you move your head back and your hands are down.
Yes.
Because Cortes just moves forward and he's in line to land that right hand, which he's been doing. And right now, Derrick Johnson forgot about his jab because in the first round, in the first half, he was establishing it. There's no jabs being thrown by either of them anymore.
No, well, they say if you show me a man with a good jab, I'll show you someone hard to beat.
That's right. Yeah, he's taking those shots flat on, and obviously, he's saying that they're not hurting him, which whether they are or whether they aren't is yet to be determined.
In the short fight, they're scoring though.
Well, that's my point. Not only are they scoring.
This is the kind of thing that maybe serves better in a 10 or 12 round fight that you can, you maybe can give away 2 or 3 rounds.
Not in a 4 round like you said earlier.
No. You got to get the first 2 or 3 to be assured.
That's true. I think that it looks like maybe fatigue is setting in. We see a little blood coming from the nose of DJ Johnson. And he
Cortes looks like his mouth is open a little bit.
He looked like he was starting to breathe a little heavy in the first round, and they better correct his shoelaces because his left shoelace is untied, and that's all you need to do is trip on your shoelace. At the same time, Johnson lands a punch.
Or look down at it.
Next thing you know, you're getting called for a knockdown.
If he steps away and is caught and he takes a look down, it could be lights out.
Another thing I'm noticing, I haven't seen one body shot thrown between the two.
I was interesting, Billy. I was going to bring that up. That's the one element that we're missing here is the fact that, the body is so crucial and so key in taking the steam away from these guys early.
Jose Cortes is landing some power shots that seem to be stunning Derrick Johnson, and the claret is flowing freely now. Of course, for anyone that doesn't know what that is, that's the blood from the bare-knuckled days. But the end of round 2, I think you have to give that round to Jose Cortes, and I feel that you're right. Cortes seems a little winded.
He needs to sit right. Lou just took his arms off the rope. Well, he's putting them back up there. That's not proper.
A lot of fighters do that. You see them doing that.
And it doesn't rest your shoulders. It doesn't give you the breathing apparatus that you need. It's just the wrong way to sit in a corner. Many experienced trainers make the same mistake. Ali was a classic. He leaned back. He did all the wrong things that turned out all the right way. What round is this?
I don't know. I think 3. It's 3.
It's 3.
It's round 3. But
we don't have any. I noticed we don't have any Don King.
What's
with this Gary Shaw?
Don't mention.
I'm not gonna mention it. I love Gary. Hi, Gary, if you're listening. They love you, man.
Yeah, right. And they must have had some of his ring cards laying around.
Yeah.
Started round 3. And
here we go.
It looks like it looks like it's picked.
His jab, maybe. I don't know.
It looks like it's picked up. I think Cortes is looking is head hunting.
Well,
clearly, and Derrick Johnson forgot to use his jab.
He hasn't used it.
He hasn't used it since the first minute of the first round.
And watch,
And to be honest with you, Carl, I think that's his only chance against an aggressive fighter like Cortes.
And see. What he's doing, he's leaning in with that jab and getting caught with the right hand as a counter.
You want to know the truth? The only punch that Jose has got is that overhand right. That's the only, but it's landing.
That's the bad thing
for Derrick Johnson.
Yeah, of course. What you want to do is, as a southpaw, you want to move a little bit away from the power. And you want to use your jab and not get hit like what we're seeing right now.
What you want to do in boxing is you want to utilize your assets. The assets that Derrick Johnson has is his height and reach.
Yes.
He's not utilizing it. He's given that up, and he's conforming to Jose Cortez's assets, which is leaving his head right there for that overhand right, which he just landed again and again, and it looks like Derrick is in some trouble. He's a tough kid, but he's clearly losing on the scorecards at this point, at least unofficially.
Absolutely. Now, see, this is the kind of learning experience that he'll have to go back and really take a look at, because he's pulling back. He's not rolling under anything. He's not using any upper body movement, but he has a decent right jab, and he goes in the hole.
Well,
but this is what you learn as you go along. Unfortunately, in the professional ranks, it counts. You're only 0-0 once.
Right.
It's not basketball, it's not football, it's not baseball, it's not seasonal. So if you lose 10 in a row, you're done. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, you won't. You can't.
This year they still had a shot at the playoffs.
That's another story.
But I'm seeing fatigue from Derrick Johnson now. He's been getting caught. He's got no. I didn't really think he showed a lot of power to begin with, but now there's nothing on his punches.
And what I have yet to see, I think we could count collectively from either guy 5 body shots in the entire fight, maybe.
And that's just on the clinches. I'm not kidding you. I haven't seen a.
I haven't seen a left hook to the body.
Right, I haven't seen a full body shot.
No.
But right now, I think the fight is Jose Cortez's. He's controlling the action. He's controlling the pace.
Yeah.
And Derrick Johnson's tired. He's bleeding. He's not utilizing his arm reach. And if I'm Ray Echeverria in his corner, I'm going to tell him, use your arm reach, use your jab.
Yeah.
And if I'm Lou Martinez, I'm going to say, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being aggressive.
Now, if I'm Lou, as not tonight, but as time progresses, I will ask. I will
Ask what?
I will ask the Columbia necktie to add some a body attack to his repertoire. It's a lot of different things going on around here.
Yeah.
I was trying to read the best boxing is the best exercise.
I know.
Something got in the way.
I know you were trying to read that. Interesting fight. I think the first round was really hard to score, but since then I think it's Joe Cortez's fight. It'd be interesting to see, if he really tries for the knockout here. He's got a big following here. Glad you guys could join us.
Now, where is Derrick Johnson from?
Derrick Johnson is from, I think, Miami area.
In my mind, and this is a fact that I certainly don't know the answer to, is about how many amateur fights has he had.
I don't think he's had
See,
that many.
he lifts his. Did you see that move when he lifts his leg to take a step forward?
Nothing is coming to him automatic.
No.
And as fatigue sets in, and as your nose is bleeding, and as you're getting popped in the face, you start thinking too much. There's no defense anymore. I think that if Joe Cortez was in a little better shape, he would have taken Derrick Johnson out of here.
Absolutely.
But Cortez, look on the bright side. I think he's going to go on to win this fight. I think Cortez, if he continues with boxing primarily over MMA, I think one thing that he could work on is a jab, maybe incorporating a jab, maybe working the body. He does have that body and build where I think he reminds me a little of Miguel Cotto. Not at this level, but he looks like Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
He's got the similar build and almost a similar style. He's headhunting,
Yes.
and he's a little tired.
Well, he needs to add Miguel's body attack because that was one of the better body attacks in modern memory.
You're right.
And maybe that's forthcoming, because, when you look at the Columbia necktie, he's either not that great a puncher, his upper body doesn't look as tight and muscular as sometimes, but that doesn't mean you can't punch.
No.
But he needs to add a few little things to the repertoire. And I'm sure that Lou Martinez, who's an excellent trainer out of Palm Beach Boxing is one of the better gyms in the area. And I think that as time goes on, this is a guy we should keep our eye on, Jose Cortez.
Yeah, I think, I think it's going to really be up to Jose Cortez. I think that if he wants to get serious about boxing and get the fundamentals, because you can see that his fundamentals are rusty.
Yeah.
It's probably that jump over from boxing to MMA back to boxing. As far as Derrick Johnson's concerned, I think that he needs to go back and learn and practice more with his defense, keeping his hands up, and utilize his arm and height advantage. He needs to work that jab. He's going to be taller than his opponents in this weight class.
So he needs to fight tall.
And I think he does. I think he needs to fight tall. I think he needs to use his jab and see what happens. Carl, the jab sets everything else up. You know that. Yeah,
absolutely. And as a southpaw, you need to know how to get out of the way of the strengths of an orthodox boxer, which is this jab. How you fight a southpaw typically is with the right hand lead and the left hook. And I didn't see any of that from Cortez.
I saw one punch.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm saying I saw one punch from him, overhand right. That's it. He was headhunting, and it was effective for him. And he saw that he was hurting Johnson.
Now imagine if he was following it with a left hook.
I know. Or started it with a left hook.
Right.
And
that's how you do it. And for DJ, for Derrick Johnson, he has to learn how to move his upper body. He needs to learn how to fight tall and use his attributes. He's lanky. He's long. He has a long range. His reach, and he needs to make that jab a very important punch to set up.
Okay, let's go up to Bob Alexander with the official announcement right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the decision, how about a nice round of applause for both fighters, please? Ladies and gentlemen, from the Kravis Center in West Palm Beach, Florida, after 4 rounds of professional boxing, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges, Mark Streisand, Rocky Young, and Toby Tamarkin, score the bout 40-36. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Jose, the Colombian necktie, Cortes.
Cortes.